Hey, Miss Thomas, this is your freaking ray of sunshine here, dressed up as always for presentations or slideshows or whatever. And this is my trifold board of my project is due tomorrow, and I figured I would do it today because it is due tomorrow. So I did definitions, pictures. I did 4 pictures. I did about the law of superposition, and I also put 4 fun facts I found on the internet that I researched. And then some of the definitions I put is the law of superposition, extrusion, oldest and youngest sedimentary rock, and relative age, and I also put instruction. I'll put 4 pictures and about and facts. So to begin with, the law of superposition is an axiom that forms one of the bases of sciences of geology, archaeology, and other fields dealing with geological stratigraphy. And I also put extrusion is the act or process of extruding. And then I put older sedimentary rock is always at the bottom. And then moving up, it adds more sediment. So always at the top is the youngest sedimentary rock is always at the top. Oldest at the bottom, youngest at the top. And then relative age for oldest and youngest, that goes with it. Relative age is geologic age of a fossil, organism, rock, geologic feature, or event defined relative to other organisms such as rocks, features, or events. And then I also put instruction is a symbolic arrangement in data. So those are my definitions. And then I'll put some pictures. I put 4 pictures, like I said in the beginning. For first picture is relative age, and it has 6 layers: A, B, C, D, and F, D, E, and F. The A is the oldest; it's always at the bottom, and then the F is the youngest; it's always at the top. And then number 2 is on the pictures is an example of a nonconformity. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It has 6 layers, just like this one, but it's different. It has an igneous rock going up into the first and second layer, and that is an example of a nonconformity. And then for the third picture, we're talking about relative dating and absolute dating, comparing those two. Youngest and oldest. Youngest at the top, oldest at the bottom. And youngest compares to the 120 plus 5 or minus 5 million years. And then the oldest at the bottom is 140 plus 10 million years, or 140 minus 10 million years. And that's at the bottom. And then the fourth picture is rock A and rock B. Rock B has segments from rock A that has moved to a different layer. So those are my 4 main pictures that I drew. And then we're going to talk about the law of superposition. And the law of superposition was proposed by Nicholas Steno in the late 17th century. He also made other laws and observations and everything to do with superposition. And then I also said what is unconformities. Unconformities are the surfaces of contact between older and younger sedimentary rocks. They are formed by erosion or lack of sediment deposition over long periods of time. So they are formed by erosion or lack over long periods of times. And then I said, how do you know which layer is oldest? The oldest sedimentary rock is always at the bottom, and the youngest is always at the top. I said that like 3 or 4 times. That's a lot. And then also for another one is how scientists use the law of superposition. Scientists use this law to determine the relative age of a layer of rock. So they use it to determine the relative age of a rock, if it's oldest or youngest. And then I also said, can a law of superposition always be trusted? No, it cannot. Because if a sequence of sedimentary rocks have been deformed, it would be hard to use this law. Also, if a sequence of beds have been tilted, it cannot work with the law of superposition. Now I also said what causes disconformity. Unconformities are a type of geologic contact. It is caused by a period of erosion or a pause in sediment accumulation followed by the deposition of sediments anew. So that's how disconformities happen. And then fourthly, I put facts. I only put 4 facts, not a lot, but they're fun facts I found. For the first one, it was popularized by William Stratus Smith. It was popularized by him, but it was proposed by Nicholas Steno. Secondly, Steno's observations that were the law of original horizontality. That is a second law that Nicholas Steno had made, other than the law of superposition. Then thirdly, if a rock is deformed, the law of superposition cannot be applied. So if a rock is deformed, it cannot be applied for the law of superposition. And then fourthly, the law was used to assign the law was used to assign relative ages to rock. So it was scientists used this to assign relative ages to rocks if it was youngest or oldest rock. But I hope I did good. That was my main project, and I hope that we can go back to school here soon. I hope we go back to school. I miss school and I miss all the teachers and I miss my friends. And I hope you stay safe and have a good one.